We hope you enjoy The Magicians, The Knights of the Fox, a Chanson De Geste cycle by Rachel Lawson. Part 1, Proem, The Song of the Fox, Moonlight Masquerade.
In the pale moonlight I ride over field and plain. In my moonlight masquerade, I go does wane. I am not afraid. I pretend I am what I am not, under the moon's silver glow. I wander around in the night's vivid light. I am just a stranger that no one does know. In my mask I'm quite a sight.
Part 2, Jester 1, The Knight Who Would Not Die.
The road to Jerusalem shimmered beneath the desert sun, a ribbon of pale sand winding between low wind-carved hills. Two riders moved along it, the King of England himself, Richard of Anjou, and a single knight who served as his escort. I fear it may have been folly not to bring a larger retinue, sire, the knight said, scanning the empty horizon. The enemy has been sighted in this region. Richard snorted, "Are you a knight or a coward, Sir Knight?" The man bit back a retort. The king's confidence bordered on madness, but he held his tongue. Richard was Richard, bold to the point of recklessness. A whisper of wind, a hiss, an arrow sliced past the king's head. They spurred their horses forward. "It's a trap," the knight cried, "they were waiting for us." Four Saracen riders burst from behind the dune, swords flashing in the sun. Steel clashed, hooves thundered in the chaos. Richard's horse reared and bolted, throwing the king to the ground. A Saracen leapt forward, blade raised for the killing stroke. Richard closed his eyes, not from fear of death, but from fear of what England would become under his brother John. The blade never fell, the knight had thrown himself between the king and the sword. The steel struck him instead. He collapsed, lifeless, at Richard's feet. "No," Richard roared, cutting down the attacker in a fury. But grief hit him like a blow. The knight had been right. His arrogance had doomed them both. The king fought on, but exhaustion dragged at his limbs. He knew he would fall next. Then, screams, panic. Saracens stumbling backward, eyes wide with terror. Richard turned. A man was cutting through them with impossible speed. The same knight who had died moments before. How? Richard breathed, stunned. The knight paused, blood streaking his torn clothing, but no wound visible on his flesh. "I saw you were about to fall," he said simply. "I could not let you die. Not like this." Richard stared at him, at the man who had died for him and risen again. "Whatever you are mine, and I will never betray you." Strength surged back into the king's limbs. Together they finished the last of their attackers. When silence finally settled over the desert, Richard approached him. "Who are you, Sir Knight?" The man bowed his head. "Sir Blake de Clare." His clothes were slashed, soaked with blood, yet his body bore no wound at all. Richard wiped his blade clean and looked at the man who had died for him and risen again. "I will not ask what happened," the king said at last. His voice was steady, but his eyes were full of something like reverence. "I will consider it a miracle, but from this day forward, I will stay close to you." He meant it. From that moment, Blake de Clare rode at Richard's side, not merely as a knight, but as a companion and advisor, and the one man Richard listened to him. In battle, Richard watched him. In private, Richard spoke to him as an equal. Blake had never sought such closeness, but he accepted it with quiet loyalty. If his strange gift or curse could protect the king, then it had purpose. For a time, the world seemed steady, but miracles do not shield kings forever. One day, far from the glory of Crusader fields, Richard met his end not by sword or Saracen steel, but by the most unexpected of weapons.
A young man's bow, a single arrow, loosed from trembling hands, struck the king as he inspected a minor siege. No ambush, no grand battle, just a moment of carelessness. A quarrel fired by a boy defending his home. Blake reached him too late to Richard, the Lionheart, the king who had never feared blade or beast, died from a wound so small it seemed an insult to his legend. And Blake, who had risen from death itself, could do nothing. The miracle that saved the king once could not save him twice. When Richard died, as Blake knew he would one day, Blake's heart broke.
Part 4, Geste 3, The Troubadour's Mask.
A young man's bow, a single arrow, loosed from trembling hands, struck the king as he inspected a minor siege. No ambush, no grand battle, just a moment of carelessness. A quarrel fired by a boy defending his home. Blake reached him too late to Richard, the Lionheart, the king who had never feared blade or beast, died from a wound so small it seemed an insult to his legend. And Blake, who had risen from death itself, could do nothing. The miracle that saved the king once could not save him twice. When Richard died, as Blake knew he would one day, Blake's heart broke.
Part 4, Geste 3, The Troubadour's Mask.
John watches the singing of Blake, who sings of Rollo, the Plantagenet ancestor, with suspicion in the court's language, Anglo-Norman.
Je suis Rollo, duc de Normandie, père d'une race de reis et de l'urgence. Oui, King suis en ombre et en clarté, et je gouverne ma gemme. Mes enfants s'iront par le monde, je évoqueront les mers, les vents. Oui, King fuimes normands de venimes, et notre voie ne change rien. race de Reis et de l'urgente. Mes enfants iront par le monde en paix, sous guerre notre corps est le même, fort comme la mer, fier comme le vent. Je suis un viking chrétien, Robert me clamant pour mon pareil, le rey des Francs qui me tient en fait, et mes enfants iront par le monde. Je suis Rollo, duc de Normandie, père d'une race de reis et de l'urgente. Mes enfants iront par le monde et notre voix ne change rien.
Blake sang as he played a lute when he finally finished singing Lady. Angela Blake's cousin and wife praised Blake's singing, while John talked to Philip Mark, the sheriff of Nottingham, about his suspicions. He suspects Blake is some sort of demon and curses him for being of royal Norman blood. John took the song as a veiled threat to him. It wasn't. It was just a chanson de geste, a heroic song to his hero. Blake wasn't really a de Clare, nor was his wife. They were merely convenient names. Mark watched the pretender like a fox hunting its prey, lost in suspicions.
Part 6, Geste 5, The Sheriff's Hunt.
In Sherwood Forest, a lone rider moved beneath the silver wash of moonlight, lost in the legends of his youth, tales from so long ago. They felt like another lifetime, tales that were never meant to be. Blake breathed in the cool night air, rich with pine and damp earth. The moon spilled through the branches in pale ribbons, casting dappled shadows that danced across the forest floor. It was peaceful here, a rare peace he had not felt since Richard's death. Then he saw him, a man stood just off the road, half hidden behind a tree, watching the darkness with the stillness of a hunter he had not noticed. Blake, his attention was fixed on the bend in the road ahead. Blake's instinct sharpened a moment the distant clatter of hooves and wheels, a horse, a stagecoach moving at a steady pace, unaware of the danger waiting for it. Blake slipped into the shadows, silent as breath, and waited. The forest held its breath with him. The man stepped out from the trees the moment the coach rattled past him, spurring his horse into a hard gallop. "Money or your life," he shouted. The coachman cracked the reins, trying to outrun him. It only enraged the highwayman. An arrow flew. The coachman toppled from his seat, dead before he hit the ground. The horses panicked, the coach veering wildly as it thundered down the road without a driver. Blake reacted instantly. He urged his own horse forward, drawing alongside the runaway coach. With a practiced leap he seized the rail, swung himself up and grabbed the reins. The horse had fought him, but he wrestled them under control, guiding the coach away from danger and toward the nearest town. By the time he reached safety, the highwayman was long lost in the forest. Blake dismounted and opened the coach door. "How is everyone?" he asked. A tall man stepped out, shaken but unharmed. Blake recognized him at once. William Longsword, Earl of Salisbury, half-brother to the late King Richard and High Sheriff of several counties. "Good," William said, steadying his wife as she emerged. "Thanks to you." "You're welcome, my lord," Blake replied, relieved he had always liked the Earl. Inside the coach were William's wife and several of their children, pale but safe. The Countess looked Blake over. The mask, the dark cloak, the moonlit silhouette. "Who are you?" she asked. Blake bowed his head slightly. "Merely a fox in the night. Call me the Night Fox." He could not risk giving his true name, not with John's watchers everywhere, not with his face hidden beneath the mask. "Good night," Blake said softly, and before they could ask another question, he slid back into the shadows of Sherwood, vanishing as quietly as he had appeared.
Part 7, Geste 6, The Revelation in the Dark.
Soon after the fox returned, or so it seemed. As a common highwayman, none liked him, not even his first victim. Blake himself, Blake suspected at once that it was a trap laid by the Sheriff of Nottingham or by King John, yet he could do nothing but play the part of the helpless traveler. The fox's good name was swiftly ruined. Philip Mark, the true mastermind behind the false fox, knew well that a man of such lion-hearted ardor could not bear to be slandered. By dragging the fox's name through the mud, Mark hoped to enrage the real hero into revealing himself. The trap worked, but not as Mark intended. Blake returned as the true fox, cleared his name before all, and swore an oath. He would stand against King John and Philip Mark, and he would bring justice to England once more. While at court, Blake heard a grim tale whispered behind fans and goblets, an atrocity ordered by King John himself. The victim was a man they called the Ogre of Abergavenny, a lord who had fallen from the king's favor and fled into exile to punish him. John had seized his wife and young son and cast them into a dungeon where they were left to starve. The courtier spoke of it lightly, as though the nickname Ogre somehow tames the horror of the depths. But Blake heard the truth beneath their murmurs. A mother and child had died in darkness, abandoned to hunger because of a king's spite. Rage fled through him, hot and immediate, yet he forced his expression into a polite smile. For it was not his place to challenge a king over another man's blood feud. With measured steps, he excused himself from the hall. Only once he was beyond the watching eyes did he let the mask slip, breathing hard as he tried to cool the fire burning in his mind. Blake fought himself alone. He had slipped into an empty passageway, bracing his hands against the cold stone as the horror of the Ogre of Abergavenny's fate crashed over him. Rage burned in his chest, not the hot fury of battle, but a deeper older fire. A mother and child starved in darkness, and he, with all his power, could do nothing. The helplessness cut deeper than any blade. His breath shuddered, a single tear escaped him, and where it fell, it shone blue bright as a star. The fire in his eyes flared, not red like a demon's, but a strange celestial blue, as if the night sky itself wept through him. The tears crystallized on his cheeks into tiny star sapphires. In that moment, his inhuman mask slipped. And that was when King John stepped from the shadows. The king froze, staring at the impossible sight before him. Blake, the quiet knight, the loyal courtier, stood trembling with grief and shedding tears of blue fire. John's face twisted, not with pity but with fear. So he whispered, Richard kept a demon at his side. Blake jerked upright, wiping the crystalline tears away. But it was too late. The king had seen everything.
John backed away slowly, as though from a wild beast. I knew there was something wrong with you. He breathed something unholy.
Blake said nothing. Words would only make it worse.
And John fled the corridor, convinced more than ever that the man he feared was not a man at all.
Lady Angela was no fool. She had walked the centuries beside Blake, and she knew the rhythms of his body and spirit better than any mortal wife ever could. So Willie began returning home bruised, scraped and tight-jawed with pain. She noticed immediately immortality did not make them invulnerable, only enduring. And she knew the difference between a wound taken in training and a wound taken in danger. She did not press him. She believed he was hiding something, but note this. She thought he was concealing some new burden of his long life, some ancient grief resurfacing, or perhaps a secret fuel he did not want her entangled in. She never once imagined he was hiding the fox. She simply worried he was getting hurt.
Blake, for his part, clung to his excuses, nightly practice. I fall and misstep in the tilt yard, anything but the truth. That he spent his nights slipping through the forests, rescuing the helpless, stealing from corrupt sheriffs, and striking fear into the hearts of King John and Philip Mark. He kissed her hand, smiled softly and murmured something about training bruises.
And Angela, who had lived long enough to recognize a lie spoken out of love, let him keep it, even as the truth pressed heavier on her heart with every passing night.
Blake was not the only one in pain. King John and Philip Mark felt the fox rising like a storm on the horizon. Each new deed to rescue, each humiliation of their serifs struck them like a blow.
The people whispered the fox's name with hope. And the more the people hoped, the more John feared.
John grew angrier by the day, pacing his chambers like a caged wolf. He must be stopped. He snarled a whine. I want him alive. I want his mask torn off in my dungeons.
Mark rowed, but even he could not hide his unease, sire. The fox is harder to catch than a devil.
John rammed it on him. We are not hunting a devil.
We are hunting a man, and men have families, friends, weaknesses. Mark understood the meaning beneath the words. If they could not catch the fox in the forest, they would catch him through the people he loved.
Part 7, Geste 6, The Revelation in the Dark.
Angela had long suspected Blake was hiding something, but she had never imagined she would find the truth in so ordinary a place as his study. She had gone to fetch a ledger he'd forgotten, nothing more, when she opened a drawer and saw it. A small seal of blackened metal, its face carved with the unmistakable sigil of the night fox. Her breath caught, she had seen that seal before, pressed into black wax on the cards the fox left behind after every rescue, every act of defiance, every humiliation of King John and Philip Mark. And here it lay, carelessly tucked away among Blake's papers. The truth struck her like a blow. When Blake returned home that evening, she was waiting for him, the seal in her hand, her expression a storm of worry and anger. Blake, she said, her voice tight, how long were you going to keep this from me? He froze, the color drained from his face. Angel, I can explain. Explain, she snapped, stepping closer. You come home bruised and bleeding, you vanish at night, you lie to me. And all this time you were the fox. You were out there risking yourself while I thought you were simply training too hard. Her anger wasn't the fury of betrayal, it was fear. Deep, ancient fear, the kind only immortals know. The fear of losing the one soul who has walked beside you through centuries. Blake lowered his head. I didn't want you to worry. I am worried, she whispered, because you're out there alone, fighting a king and his monster of a sheriff. You should have told me. He reached for her hand, and this time she didn't pull away. I'm sorry, he said softly. I never meant to shut you out, I only wanted to protect you. Then don't protect me, she murmured. Stand with me. Let me stand with you. Anarchy fell upon Blake that night, not in the kingdom, but in his own body. After too many late-night missions, too many rescues, too many narrow escapes, he was bone-tired, his limbs felt heavy, his senses dulled, and for the first time in years he moved through the forest without the sharpness that made him the fox. He didn't notice Mark until it was too late. The sheriff stepped from the shadows like a wolf closing on wounded prey. At last, Mark hissed. The fight that followed was vicious, desperate, and closed steel rang in the night. Sparks flew, the fox fought like a cornered legend. but exhaustion dragged at him, slowing his strikes, weakening his guard blow by blow. Mark pressed him back, and then the fox fell. Mark drove his blade home, and Blake collapsed into the leaves, the world dinning around him. With shaking hands, Mark tore away the mask and froze. "You," he whispered, "it was you all along." But before he could savor the victory, the air grew cold, a shadow rose behind Blake's body, tall, hooded, skeletal, its presence bending the night around it. A grim reaper irritated, muttering under its breath as though summoned from sleep. It placed a hand upon Blake's chest. Blake inhaled sharply, life flooding back into him. Mark stumbled backwards, eyes wide with horror. Blake rose slowly, the reaper's shadow still clinging to him like a second skin. Mark turned and ran, crashing through the undergrowth in blind terror. For now he understood the truth. The fox was no mere outlaw. He was immortal, and not just immortal. He was dead zone!
Part 8. Anvor, the legend begins.
Angela was taken quietly from the royal court, escorted not by honorable guards, but by Mark's men, the kind who did not speak and did not meet her eyes. They brought her to one of King John's lesser castles, a grim stone keep where the walls sweated damp and the torches burned low. Without ceremony she was thrown into a dungeon cell, and the door slammed shut. No food, no water, no explanation, only the cold and the dark. Word reached Blake within hours, his fury was a living thing, clawing at his ribs, begging to be unleashed. But he did nothing, because that was exactly what John wanted. If the fox acted, Angela would die. And so Blake stood silent in the court, his hands clenched behind his back, his jaw tight enough to crack. John, sensing victory, rose before the assembled nobles with a proud, sanctimonious smile. The fox has abandoned the people, he declared, but I will never abandon England. The courtiers murmured, some in agreement, some in doubt, but none dared contradict the king. Blake stood among them, outwardly calm, inwardly burning. He knew the truth. John had not captured the fox, he had captured Blake's heart, and Blake could not let Angela die. like a demon through the night, the hooves of his horse, striking sparks from the stones. Rage and terror drove him, he had learned where Angela was held, and nothing short of death would keep him from her. When he reached the castle, he did the only thing he could. He surrendered himself as the fox. Release her, he demanded. I give myself up. But Mark's men had other plans. They seized him, dragged him down into the same dungeon, and threw him into the cell beside his wife. A message was sent to King John and Philip Mark. The fox has given himself up. John and Mark arrived in triumph, certain they had finally trapped their immortal enemy. They strode down into the depths of the keep, eager to gloat, eager to see the fox broken behind iron bars. Even death cannot slip through stone, John muttered with satisfaction. But when they reached the cell, they stopped dead. The dungeon was empty. No Blake, no Angela, no broken outlaw waiting to be locked. The door was still locked, the window was barred. There was no sign of struggle, only the faint shimmer of something unnatural, as if the air itself had been disturbed by magic. The guards trembled, Mark swore under his breath, and John, white with fury, slammed his fist against the stone. Damn him, he roared! Damn Blake de Clare! Damn the fox! For the second time, Blake had slipped through the king's fingers, and this time he had taken his wife with him. Begins the tale of Blake de Clare, the knight who would not die. The poet no one saw, and the fox all England feared. Begins the tale of Blake de Clare, the knight who would not die. The poet no one saw, and the fox all England feared.
Part 9, Outro.
I hide my name and visage behind the mask of a smile. It is hard not to see through me. I am merely a poet that no one sees, a useless wastrel, a man of words and nothing more. But fear not, I am always here to help a fellow man in need. I am a knight by name, seen as a coward by nature. I fight for my people and their freedom against a tyrant. But still I am invisible, and he does not know me by name. I am in danger in every waking hour, but he sees me not behind my guise of a fox. Fox are rarely seen as a danger. I am fairly safe as a fox in the night, fighting for freedom. A lion would die all too soon. That is why this lion takes the guise of a black fox at night. To them, I am merely a fox in the